listen, he had standards at the time that I would later figure out about when I went to Chelsea. And when I think back to Saipan, like the pitch and obviously no kit and what have you, like freakish, and FAI have hopefully learned from it, but his standards were so high, it obviously wasn't acceptable to him, and I guess you'd call it Hyde came out. Whereas me now, like, yeah, my standards are, I'd like to think, as high as his were, but that's where I'm probably a different character. I just get on with it, and what have you. Whereas fair play to Roy, that's the player he is. He wasn't having it.
Yeah, just the Saipan thing. I was writing the book with him at the time of that, and I kind of felt that he had a point because of the condition. He had an injury, and the stuff, it sounds like Saipan was that a view that was shared? Not that you should all walk out or anything, but when you got there and you saw the facility, his thing, and he told me, this is what he said to me, because I spoke to him during it. He said, I'm looking at England, he said, they're in this amazing place on the mainland, you know, they're not on this island, they've got everything. Well, look at the Germans, look at the Dutch, you know, look at the way they've got the best of everything, the best food, best training facilities, all of that stuff. And here's Paddy, as he put it, you know, with training on the car park, concrete underneath, wrecking his body, making it worse, no goals and all that stuff. That was his basic thing. Was he the only one who felt that?
Well, listen,
or maybe did he feel it with more intensity than other people?
Only speaking for myself and Robbie and what have you, and Richie, and like, we were just babies, so like we didn't know any difference. And of course we knew the pitch and what have you was horrendous. They asked for it to be watered, and like Saipan is caught in a time warp. It's still in World War II. So we turned up one morning, there was a lad with, not a lad, he was about 70, 80, and the fire engine was about the same age as him, and he was literally just stood in the middle of the pitch with the hose, and he just watered the middle of the pitch. Like, you couldn't make it up, it'd be a comedy sketch on the show. And we pulled up and he literally just wheeled his hose back up and drove off. So we were, I guess, Irish, being Irish, and especially us, the young lads, we were just laughing and joking, what have you. But listen, Roy's standards were different eras, but you have to hand an awful lot to Roy. He was the first one, the only one that really fought first with the FAI, you know, get us business class seats, you know, long haul flights, which is correct. It's the way teams travel now, but before, you know, any team was doing it, he was fighting for us. And the FAI, you know, I'm obviously helping them out now, so be careful what I say, but like, they have over the years have an awful lot of previous with hotels and logistics and stuff. So you know, Saipan, there's an awful lot of stuff, other stuff I could mention. You know, Sopot, the hotel in 2012 was in the middle of like Ayia so you couldn't leave the hotel. There was 20,000 Irish fans outside drinking, so we were cooped up there for 2-3 weeks.
Coming to the European Championship,
so that's 10 years later, and you're still coming up with the same faults, which to me, and now I guess seeing it where Roy's coming from, I'm older, wiser, I've got standards, like, I didn't find that acceptable. So I think now, from looking with you, RT, in the summer, they were staying in Versailles in a palace, and maybe we finally got there.
No, but the Saipan thing, as Packy says, it's something we couldn't change. It's happened. We dealt with it, and we moved on. I would nearly say it sort of galvanised us a little bit as a team. I know Packy was on the coaching side, but you know, there's my first World Cup. I spoke about earlier in the show about supporting Packy at a World Cup, and as a fan, and when I played for Ireland, I was a fan still. You know, I was playing, but I was a fan, and nothing was going to take away from me playing for Ireland in a World Cup.
Had you buried the hatchet at that stage with him?
It was a very public thing, as you know, Saipan, and I'd never actually, other than through the media, had a spat at all, if you like. And it was very quick. For the greater good going forward, we both saw that this was an opportunity for us both, great opportunity for the club, great opportunity for Roy, which he took with both hands, and an opportunity for me to make the club a bigger and better place.
But he did call you Mother Teresa.
In the papers he did, but I called him lots of stuff that weren't in the papers. But it's just, you know, the media spun that thing. It was a whirlwind. Look, The bottom line was...
The point I'm getting at was you had got over all that well before you were chairman itself, or not?
No, literally as we came over the line together. Yeah, that was something that we both kind of grew up a little bit and for the greater good moved on.
So the first meet-up after that?
Never not came out?
No, I choose my opponents carefully. No, we met up in one of the Drummondville members' houses to discuss going forward. We had a chat over what happened. Let it be in the past. We'll have our differences on that, probably always will, and move on. And in many ways, you know, that was probably bigger and noble for him because he didn't play in the tournament. He was the one who suffered, you know, the doorstepping every day during that time, and obviously what came about as a result. So it was good, and we moved forward.
Then when Mick felt as though that he had to address this interview that Roy had done back in Dublin or back in Ireland in front of the team, and that was, I mean, that just had awful. It had an awful effect on the team. It was an horrendous 5 or 10 minutes or whatever it was during the argument. And once it had settled down, it wasn't great to be around the floor around it, or the mess around it. Really, once we'd arrived back in Japan from Saipan, because it was a mess from there. Really,
it was Ireland. The preparations were never great. In all honesty, you know, in 1988 European Championships, we ended up in a hotel that had a nudist colony attached to it.
Yeah, it was a difficult situation because you're losing a world-class player, and actually a lot of the stuff that he was saying was right.
Yeah, and again, it's that thing of him having those high standards, you know.
And sometimes you have to realise that the FAI isn't Man United either, and particularly at that time, didn't have the money and funding, etc. But in terms of, you know, the pitch not being right, the ball's not arriving, all that sort of stuff, he had a lot of valid points. Yeah. To be honest, I think Mick just took exception really to how he went about making those points.
Yeah, he probably could have done it in private or something like that.
I think they'd done it in private. I think, and then it became public.
Oh, okay.
So I think that was.
Oh, it was something to do with going to the media or something.
I think that was the biggest issue. But as I say, it was difficult when you're losing, you know, your player that would walk into any other international team.
Yeah, he at the time he was in and around one of the world's best players.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely at that time.
Yeah.
And he, as you said, he would have brought everybody's game up. But it seemed like in Shea's book again, Shea's book, but he just seems to see he was almost fighting himself at the World Cup. It seemed. But how were you feeling just losing him? He was just like, we're gonna have to get on with him, or were you just like, we was sad, or I don't know, what was going through your head about you anyway? Because he was your midfield partner, like, you know.
Yeah, a weird feeling. It was a strange feeling, as I say, to lose him. But then the jokes flow, don't they? And sort of.
It seemed like a really good bunch of lads.
Great lads. I mean, straight away there's like Gary Kelly, I think, that put a mannequin of Roy where his seat was on the bus and on the way to training and things like that. All those sort of things happen, don't they? And you'll make a joke of it. And this is sort of, I think, 2 weeks before the first game. And so by the time sort of it all moves on,